you asked me how long you've been thinking. Normally, I find 20 minutes it's okay, but as long as I've got some more questions, which I learned from Tim Ferriss, because I want to improve as an interviewer as well. So would you want to have some of these questions?
No, you go.
They're not about property. It's more about you as a person. Okay. So some of it weird, but okay, let's go. So. What is the, are you a person who learns? Do you read a lot?
I think the moment we stop learning, the moment we stop growing.
Okay.
If you stop growing, then your wealth can't grow.
Okay.
I love learning.
I love reading as well.
Yeah.
So, because you mentor a lot of people as well, I know obviously commercial conversions, maybe in other areas of life. So what's your most gifted or recommended book when you read this book or do that?
I think the first thing is that I think people without some kind of faith in whatever they believe is some bigger being.
Right. Okay.
So whether Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, whatever.
Yeah.
I think a faith encourages us all to see beyond ourselves.
Okay.
To have a generous and caring mind and heart.
Maybe a bigger picture, okay.
So I was brought up Christian, so for me a Bible would be a hugely important book.
Okay.
But I'm not closed-minded to think that for some it might not be the Quran or whatever scriptural writing.
So you think that's good for you, recommending people read this too?
I just think, I like having a faith.
Okay.
Let's put it like that. And I think it gets us to look beyond ourselves. I don't say that people without faith can't look beyond themselves. I think that's also important.
It just helps,
After that, then I've got several. I kind of got 3 or 4 top books.
Go on then,
Number 1, Secret. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
Stephen Covey,
Amazing book. What's the one? T. Harv Eker, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
I bought it straight away when you recommended it on Amazon.
Yeah. T. Harv Eker, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Unbelievable book.
Okay.
Then there's a couple that you can pick one of. You don't need both.
Okay.
One is Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect.
Brilliant book. Yeah.
I read that, but actually the one that really made the most difference to me, which is similar, is Jeff Olson, The Slight Edge.
Okay, I heard about it, but I haven't read that book.
Yeah, no, I love that one.
Right.
And it's just about continuing to do the right thing every day and allowing your success to compound, not being in a hurry. But it's more than about success, it's about just good habits and so on. What ones would I recommend beyond that? And then I think just read biographies of people that you admire who've been successful. It doesn't really matter what they are. I've just read Shoe Dog, for example, by...
Oh, is that Nike guy?
Yeah.
Right.
And the very fact that we don't all know his name.
No.
It's Phil Knight, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But most people don't know who created Nike.
Yeah.
What an amazing story. I've just finished reading that. An amazing book. Really encouraging, because for about the first, I think it was 12 years of Nike's life, they were on the edge financially, running out of cash because of their growth, constantly running out of cash. I found that hugely encouraging, that actually a company like Nike wasn't overnight success. It was a company that grew, and they went through all the normal things. They had court cases, they had people suing them.
Okay.
Nothing comes easy. We just have to keep going. And but any autobiography, I've read biographies, lots of biographies.
Right. Yeah.
Alex Ferguson is another great one.
Yeah.
There was one by. Do you remember? What's his name? Oh, Nelson Mandela.
Okay. Right.
But there was one by a couple of general. I think it was General Baden-Powell or something like that.
Okay.
No,
right.
not Baden-Powell. That's not right.
Colin Powell. Yeah. Okay.
Colin Powell.
Yeah.
So anyway, biographies. They're the other big thing I like to read.
Okay. So you touched on a bit about success, which obviously you versus when you field. What interests me is habits. So have you got a morning routine that you do before you start looking at your phone or answering back to work questions? My morning routine varies. My days are variable. I don't have a routine. Right.
But if I'm at home, then I will get up, shower.
What time? Can I ask you? Are you a 5 a.m. person?
No, I don't believe in all that nonsense.
Okay.
I think
I am, by the way.
I think we all need sleep.
Okay. Yeah.
I get up about 6:15.
Okay.
Shower.
Yeah.
Make my wife a cup of tea.
Okay.
Walk the dog.
Wow. Okay. Right.
I find half an hour to walk dog does a couple of things.
Is that you get into meditative state?
No, but I am thinking.
Okay.
So number one, I have a back problem.
Okay.
So I have to use something, I can't believe I'm admitting this, but I use something called slender tone.
Yeah, this is the second part. It's more into
that actually keeps my core strong.
Right.
That needs half an hour. So I put that on, take the dog for a half an hour walk and think about my day. And I believe that you need to do the most important things. You know, Eat That Frog is another business book people might have heard of.
Yeah.
But you've got to do the big things. What is most important in my day? So on that walk, I'll be deciding the top 2 or 3 things I've got to get done that day.
Right.
And my life is so busy that often what I'll be doing is reviewing my day as well. So I will look at my calendar because my life is run by my calendar.
Okay.
I will look at what's in the diary, and then my brain is already preparing subconsciously for all those meetings.
Okay.
And that's another big thing actually. Before I go to bed, I also look at the calendar for the next day.
That's your next question, by the way.
Yeah.
What's your pre-bed routine?
So we'll come back to that then.
Yeah.
So I think by looking at the calendar, knowing what's coming, my mind is subconsciously preparing me for those meetings, for anything that's going on. And if I've got a couple of things I absolutely must do that day, I've already decided in my mind I'm not going to do any trivia until I've got all those things done.
Okay.
So that's my morning routine. So when I get back from walking the dog, I don't eat a lot of breakfast. I normally have a coffee.
Yeah.
And I know some people are interested in this stuff.
Yeah, I like coffee.
I take loads of vitamins and I take them usually with smoothie. The biggest breakfast I'll normally have is yogurt with fruit and granola on top. That's it. I don't like having a heavy breakfast. And that's it. Once I've done, walk the dog, have my breakfast, brush my teeth, I'm out the door and then on to the office.
Okay. What about, have you got sort of I think you might just done earlier, like a pre-bed routine as well? Do you simply do every night? Again, part of your success habits.
I have things that I don't do. So I don't drink caffeine after 12 o'clock midday.
Okay.
And I don't drink a huge amount of alcohol, generally speaking. If I am drinking alcohol, then what I will do is make sure I'm drinking loads of water.
Okay.
Because I find I love my red wine, but red wine tends to wake us up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And I will read my diary for the next day, so that my mind is preparing overnight.
Okay.
My other, I would say, is boring or not, I'm nearly always in bed between 10 and 11.
Okay, right, okay, that's not bad. Okay. This is a bit of a weird question, I'll ask you anyway. If you had a spirit animal, what would that be?
What's a spirit animal?
Basically, if you were to be an animal, what would it be? Sort of, you know?
A panther.
Okay, like nice one. When you hear the word successful, be a person or a company, who do you think of, or who? Or what maybe?
I'm nervous about the word success.
Yeah.
Because we're all on a journey.
Yeah.
I think we're never successful because we're always growing.
Yeah.
We were talking, I think, before we even switched on the mic. You know, if you're not growing, then you're decaying.
Yeah.
And therefore, if you're always growing, how can you ever be successful?
Right. Okay.
So we're never complete. We're never perfect. There's always things to work on. So I see people that are journeying well.
Right. Okay.
So if I see people or companies that are journeying well, then they become of interest, because if they're journeying well, if they're progressing well, then they might have something they can lend to me. Nothing is ours. We don't give advice. We can lend people stuff that we might have.
They can help you on your journey.
Yeah. Okay. So that becomes a fascination.
Okay. Any particular person right now, or maybe could be living, or passed away?
Mark Homer is hugely encouraging.
Okay.
So that's obviously close within the progressive family.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Mike Wilshire who I'll always be forever grateful for, who was an executive coach.
Okay.
And you won't have heard of him, but he literally changed my life by giving me some great advice.
Right.
No, and the rest of the time, I think the other person who's probably had the most profound impact on my life within the work sphere is my business partner Justine.
Okay, right.
She's in the book. I think she's the most incredible lady. She is hugely gifted, hugely humble. She calls me her motor mouth because she can sit quietly in the background.
Okay.
She's the real boss.
Okay.
And we're a great balance. So I'm hugely grateful to her. I think other than that, I let people come and go.
Okay, yeah, you
So
take what they can and
obviously,
give something back to them as
inspired
well.
by people like Richard Branson, read most of his books.
Yeah.
Read the book of Phil Knight. You know, I just people come and go within our journey. I think that's one of life's great joys. So
Okay, maybe, if there was an advertising board and you got to put a message, just a one-line message, what would that be? What would it say?
who's the message to?
Anybody you want to, anybody, it's a billboard and, you know, people going past, you know, what message would it be?
Yeah. Good question.
That's a good, and that's a be more interesting questions. What message would it be?
I think the most fundamental lesson I've learned, I think there's two parts to it.
Yeah.
Be grateful for everything you've already had and been given, and then serve others.
Okay.
Because in serving others, the world is set up so that the more we serve others and the more we help other people, you will be paid back.
Right.
So much of our lives, I think, we spend sometimes trying to solve our own problem.
Yeah.
If we try to solve everybody else's problem, it's amazing how often the world will solve ours.
Okay. Cool.
So my message on the message board would be grateful and serve others.
Okay, thanks very much. What's the worst piece of advice you've heard being given out in your sphere, in property, or any other? Maybe stick to property. Yeah, what's the worst piece of advice you've been heard?
My pet hate, because I'm into commercial conversions, is that people must do all the other strategies and build up.
Oh yes, alright, get to the top pyramid.
You have to do buy to let, and then you have to go.
Right.
No, maybe it's not even start with buy to let. Maybe you start with rent to rent, and then you start with buy to, and then you go to buy to let, and then you might go to multi-let, and then you might do serviced accommodation, and then if you're really lucky, you might have earned the right to do commercial conversions.
Right.
That is such. Am I allowed to?
Of course, yeah.
It's such BS. It's such BS, and it's my pet hate.
Yeah.
And I really would encourage people to go large in your dreams. Don't give up. Don't agree with yourself to be smaller in life. Go for whatever you want. Trust yourself to deliver it. And if you want to do bigger stuff, then commercial conversions. If you're talking about property, commercial conversions pays bigger.
Yeah.
Or property development pays bigger. The reason I like commercial conversions, I use prior approval, which mitigates the planning risk. But don't feel like you've got to go through this 10-year journey of learning to earn the right to do commercial conversions. So that's my pet hate. Okay, brilliant.
3 people or sources, I think you might touch this already, 3 people or sources that you're learning from right now or this year.
3 people or sources?
Yeah, this year.
My business partner, Justine.
Okay.
That I'm learning from. I think biographies that I read, books that I read.
Right.
So that's quite broad, but yeah, there's so much learning out there. There's so many good books being written at the moment. I've got a pile of books on my desk that I haven't got around to reading it. So much good stuff out there.
Yeah.
So books is another source.
Have you got a mentor maybe right now?
Mark and Rob are my mentors.
Okay, right.
And we're also looking for mentors to help us build business bigger.
Okay.
So that's where it is at the moment.
Okay, fantastic. What advice would you give to a 30-year-old Glenn?
Keep going, mate. You're doing all right.
Okay.
I think we're sometimes in too much of a hurry.
Yeah.
And I'm now, for those of you who don't know, I'm 52.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that's going back quite a long time. And I think, there's an element where I'd like to have achieved more earlier.
Yeah.
But that's not how our journey works. Our journey works with us at the right thing at the right time. And I'd just go, keep going.
Right, okay.
Just keep on keeping on.
Okay. So, Glenn, if people want to get in touch with you, where would
I'm Glenn with 2 N's and Delve, DELVE. There's not many of us on Facebook, So if you find a Glendale on Facebook that's into commercial property conversions, then you're probably on the right lines. You can contact our office. I don't deal with most of my social media, and most of anybody trying to make direct contact with me has to go through our PA, whose name is Ashleen. She's absolutely lovely. So you can email pa@osealife.com.
I'll put it on in the links anyway.
So osealife.com.
Okay. So, Glenn, thank you for your time.
I noticed a question you didn't ask.
Oh, what was that one?
I'd like him to ask this question because I think it's a really good question and I have an answer to it.
All right, okay.
It was something like, what item of £100 or less?
Yeah. I was trying to judge the conversation if that would be of interest to you. Yeah, I did ask it. So the question is, what item, £100 or less, has been immensely valuable to you?
You know what? I think it's important that everybody knows that nobody's an overnight success. I've been an overnight success after about 30 years of basically doing different businesses. And for all of us, it's really tough at some point.
Yeah.
And I was always worried that at some point the well would run dry.
Okay.
That I would run out of myself, or I would go bankrupt, or something like that. And this amazing guy called Norman came to have a chat with me one day, and he heard that I was really worried about the well running dry, and that I'd find that I didn't have enough, or that my bank account would run dry, or that I'd go bankrupt. So he got his wallet out, and he pulled out this crisp £20 note, and he wrote on this £20 note, "You will never have nothing. Don't ever spend this. You'll always have this." And he made me commit to putting it in my wallet and never ever spending it, not even if I got down to my last pound. And it's still in my wallet today.
Wow.
And there was something about it in my head that went, I'm never going to be broke because I'll always have that 20 quid.
Right. Okay. So that gives you, obviously some reassurance.
And it was the most amazing, powerful visual picture of the fact that I was never going to be broke.
So who was Norman then? Who's Norman?
He was quite a scary guy because when I met my wife, he'd been a bit like a surrogate father to my wife. So when I met my wife, he sat down with me one day and said, "If you ever upset Catherine, I'm going to break your legs." So that was the other side of Norman. So he was just someone I knew from my wife's background.
So again, thank you very much. It has been a real pleasure for me, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. I know I said it can be 20 minutes to start it. You've gone over that. A
little bit, 41 minutes. Yeah.
I did say that last part was going to be interesting, because it's slightly different questions that I normally ask. But I find that when I ask those questions, I enjoy the interview a bit more as well. The person comes out and they show a bit more of themselves as well. So, Glenn, it's been a pleasure.
I hope it's been of some value to the people that are listening.
Okay, thank you. Please like and share and leave some comments back. And see you soon. Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye.